Hi, beloveds. This is Tamala, your empowerment priestess, and we are talking today on April 1st, 2019. And this is not an April Fool's. We are talking today about the paradigm of distraction. And I want to start out by saying this is going to be a truth talk. And so, what does that mean? It means that it's probably going to make you uncomfortable. It could make you angry. It could trigger you, and that's okay. That's what it's designed to do. So, Kali Ma is here, and she is the one that is leading today's discourse. So just brace yourself. So, for the paradigm of distraction. Oh, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tamala Malay. I am a psychic channel, an Akashic Records clearer, a body and soul aligner, an empowerment teacher and coach, an ordained shamanic Magdalene high priestess, and a spiritual midwife. So, and I know that's a lot, but I'm also a variable soul, and I need to do all those different things. So this distraction, you see how that energy is coming in even in the just 1 or 2 minutes that we've been here. It's like all these different things. As we're evolving into 5D, we need to be really clear on our focus. And now our focus right now is going to be coming to us more and more and more over the next few months. Okay. And it's okay right now if we don't know what it is that we want to be doing with our future, because we're still evaluating. We're still coming out of that deep dive that we took during Mercury retrograde. We're still in the shadow period for the next little while. And we have a lot of questions, and all of that is okay. Having questions, as long as you're moving forward and as long as you're really considering with clarity, with intention, with responsibility, your own desires for what it is that you want to be and do and have moving forward, who you want to be in relationship with, how you want to show up in relationship to others, what you want to do for a career, how you want to show up for that, what you're willing to do to make that happen. Everything that is what we're being called to examine in this time, because as we begin to move forward, we are moving forward into how we intend to be for our future. We've been talking about this for the last 6-7 months. Okay. One of the things that we're having to really address right now as well, that's making us really uncomfortable, is this paradigm of distraction. And I'm going to get into that now. On this planet, since Adam, okay, we know there was a whole different culture, understanding, a practice of living in the evolutionary process before Adam. Okay. But once Adam came in, lots of things shifted, right? The patriarchy came in, the one up, one down, the ability for women to be less than began there, even though she was taken from the side of Adam. As far as religion and doctrine is concerned, the female was still less than. So it was a distraction. We told you that Eve came from the side of Adam, but that's not really how we're going to put that into place, right? Women are not going to be equals. Women are not going to be priests and priestesses that are going to be allowed to be in the religion, right? It was all a distraction. In our political systems, it's all over the world, but especially in the US right now, there is a lot of distraction that's being brought to the surface. Now, this has been in place since the beginning of the governments, right? We're going all the way back to Adam here. So these have been in place. This is a paradigm that has lived and thrived in the planet. It's been in relationships. It's been in governments. It's been in money, right? It's been in all of the aspects of the planetary system. And we're shifting out of that. And I'm going to give you an example. Last night, I showed my beloved a video of Alexandra AOC, right? Everybody knows knows her by AOC. And she was talking about how important it is for us to, pay attention, right? Flint is real. Healthcare is real. The need for us to help other people is real. To help the planet is real, right? And she was talking with her hands. Well, she's from New York, right? So all New Yorkers talk with their hands. I'm not from New York. I still talk with my hands, right? It's what some people do when they're feeling enthusiastic, when they're feeling energized. They're expressing that energy in a way that's constructive as opposed to turning it into anger or frustration, right? Now, here's the thing. She was saying really powerful words. And the internet and social media and some of the news stations were talking about, oh, look at her hands, look at her hands, look at her hands. They were talking about distraction. Hey, look at her hands. Be distracted by her hands so that you can't hear her message. Be distracted by her hands so you can't hear the truth that's being spoken, right? So, and I got that very clearly when I heard that, right? Her hands were just an expression of her expression, right? Well, I showed it to my beloved, and we listened to it, and I didn't say anything. And after it was over with, I said, social media and everybody's talking about her hands. He goes, yeah, she needs to not use her hands. That was really distracting. And I said, really? Even for you, that was a distraction? And that's when I got the very clear download from Spirit that this is a paradigm that exists in the planet that the majority of, in fact, all of the people on the planet at one point in time have bought into. But some of us are aware of it and we've chosen not to buy into it anymore, right? It's like the husband who has an affair, right? He's cheating on his wife and he goes, oh, well, you're fat or you gained weight or it's because of you, right? Distraction, right? Distract you over here so you're not paying attention to what's going on over here. You're fighting this battle instead of fighting this battle, right? It's the same thing with our money. Oh, well, you need to invest in the stock market that is risky. Put all your investments in the stock market. Put all your investments in the stock market. Don't save for yourself. Don't put anything into accounts that are here. You need to put in here because maybe you'll be a millionaire if you do this. But now sacrifice some of this, sacrifice your own stuff so that you can put into the economy so that you can potentially gamble and get something. Now, don't go to Vegas where you're really gambling, but put it into the stock market, right? But don't pay attention to your own salary, your liquidated income, the money that you can get and use for yourself when you want to, right? That's a distraction. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't do both or that it's unacceptable that you do both. It's the idea of you have to do one over the other, or you pay attention to the one over the other. That's the distraction. People need their own income, their own savings that's liquidated that they can get to and use at any time they want without having to pay fees and sacrifice their future, right? And politics, 100% of politics right now, it's being brought up and you see it every single day where it's distraction, right? Let's talk about her hands and not what she's saying. Let's talk about females who are talking because of how they look. Don't pay attention to what they're saying. Let's talk about this person who is doing something that is against our religion, right? But let's not talk about the truth about what they're saying. Let's not identify in the U.S. Constitution that these inalienable rights are supposed to be for everyone and not just certain people. Let's not focus on the truth of that. Let's distract, right? And it's interesting because today is April Fool's Day, and this is not an April Fool's joke, but this is how we all have been fooled in every aspect of our lives for the last millennia. And the only way that we're going to get out of paying attention to the distraction and not the truth is we start really making that a commitment and say, wait a minute, is this a distraction or is this something I need to be concentrating on? Because number one, it's the major saboteur that is in the planet right now. It is the major big sabotage that's here to keep us down, to keep us stuck, to keep us confused, to keep us ignorant, and to keep us from addressing the real issues, right? Number two, the sabotage is also the most powerful way that keeps you personally down and distracted and confused and away from focusing on what it is that you need to focus on. Okay? And if you're struggling because I'm using my hands, right, and you're focusing on that, you are still stuck in that distraction paradigm. And so it's really important for this next month of April, as we're learning how to move forward, that we're paying attention to what is distracting us, right? What is getting our attention instead of the real message. So everything you do this month, everything you hear, everything you feel, everything you say, and everything you do, pay attention to, is this a distraction? Is this keeping me down, confused, distracted, away from? Or is this capital T truth, divine truth? Is it clarity? Is it integrous? And is it going to get me where I want to go? Those are different. And this distraction, confusion, depression, anxiety, stress has been what our planet has been under, and all the beings on the planet have been under since Adam. And now we're moving into cutting through the bullshit and clearing out those distractions. And the way we do that, the first thing that we have to do when we do that is identify, holy crap, this is a distraction. This is a distraction. What should I be looking at? And if you paid attention to U.S. politics at all, every single day is a distraction. In the current administration, if there's something they don't want you to know about, they are going to launch something on Twitter that's going to have everybody going, oh, let's look at this, when they're missing all of this important stuff, like reducing restrictions on water, allowing pipelines to go where they're not supposed to go, right? All of the important things. But we're not looking at the important things. We're looking at the Twitter things. We're looking at the ignorant things. We're looking at the confusing things. We're looking at the distractions. And we all have a personal responsibility to paying attention to where we're putting our energy and where we're putting our attention, because it makes a huge difference in what we're feeding. Because as we're putting our attention on something, we're thinking about it, and that gives it energy. And then as we think about it, we start having an emotion about it. We start feeling about it. And that juices our thought about it. And then it gives it more energy. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we start acting on it, which makes it real in our experience. And that's when it becomes not just their problem, it becomes our problem. And so this truth talk today is about helping you understand that process and giving you the tools that you need to go into your own life and say, what are the things that I'm owning, that I'm taking action on, that have become a part of my life that are a distraction. And while I've been maybe doing the clearing out of my house, maybe I need to clear out my internal house, my internal distractions, because they will keep you stuck and ignorant and out of the connection with your own divine self and your own superpowers, which is what you want to be bringing into the planet right now, what we all deserve to have from you in the planet right now, and what you're here to bring. So I hope this has been a blessing for you. Share this with your communities, with your friends and family, with those that you love, because this is an important topic that we need to be addressing in our own selves so that we can start changing our communities, our governments, and our planet in a way that we want it to be successful and thriving and delicious. So I'm going to put some connections on the Facebook for my Facebook group in the comments. And also I want to invite you to join the Living a Congruent Life training, as well as the Empowerment Posse. And I am going to be traveling this month, so I will put my calendar in and you will be able to check that out as well to see where I'm going to be in April so that you can come and enjoy some empowerment in person. So I love you. Thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.